Hey YouTube, this is Prometheus, guys, giving you more of the meta. Once again, I'll be working this Bears offense, and I'm going to highlight this play, which is stick. It is the most generic play that you can get in Madden outside of maybe verticals or slants. But this is a really good play to have as one of your quick audibles, snap the play, stock, where you can steal some yards. I'm going to show you some situations where I actually had it, jumped into it, stole quick yards, got myself first downs and more. Once again, guys, I want to thank you for support. I had some interesting comments based on some of the things I've been putting out, such as like, you know, where you guys located at. I've seen people from all the United States, also in London. Someone commented recently that they're located in London, and I've seen some people actually comment that their jobs. One was a collegiate coach that was watching my channel, which I'm sure we can learn a lot from. People as cooks and stuff like that. So if you're willing, go ahead and just put down in the notes like where you're located at, what you do for a living. I'm just curious just to see who's viewing my channel and the community as a whole. So let's go and jump into this video. This is gameplay video. This is going to be offensive video. And once again, I like to go with a heavy set. I like to have the single back twins close, two tight end set. Reason why is I like this backside run if I get the leverage and stuff like that, but I have a whole scheme that's built around this. And you can see he's running basically a 43 type defense. And this is a guy that actually, just the way he played his defense didn't make me comfortable. So he did certain things that I just felt like I was basically getting away with some reads and some choices and stuff like that. I didn't feel like I was completely in control with my offense for the most part. Right here I'm in the doubles play, and once again I'm just going to read this guy just to see what happens with him. If he falls back in the zone, I'm going to make progressions over here. It would be the areas I'm going to go with my progressions, and I'll show you once I snap the ball and I see this guy falling out, I'm going to this side of the field to watch where I want to go with it. I had an underneath route, and he's actually right there in the line of path, the underneath route, and that's when I started getting a little bit nervous on how this guy uses and doesn't get himself completely out of position. So now he's got a single high safety situation, but if you take a look, he's got his rushers off the edge right here. He's got his linebackers right here, and he's got this guy isolated with my single wide receiver, and I've got this huge lane right here. Now I need to pick up a first down. 3rd and 3 is usually a pretty good down the run this stick concept, and all I'm really doing is I'm just watching this defender to see if he supports it or see if a guy jumps up into the passing lane. If these guys rush, he sticks, I'm just going to rip this ball because there's no way this guy's going to be able to jump the inside of this route based on the off coverage. So I go ahead and throw it. I get myself a nice little run animation, and right here I get a broken tackle. He doesn't tackle me correctly, and DJ Moore is able to go to the house against this guy. Now I didn't really want to score on this guy quick because he had a pretty effective drive against me, but I wanted to go ahead and do that. So next series I actually get a turnover. I actually threw into my defender, and this series right here was basically just another just bad decision by me. Go with the direct snap. I like to have that because I like to run to the other side. No huddle because I'm kind of looking at the clock. I got to get the ball down over here, at least get a field goal range. So I want to get closer to the middle of the field, get on this side of the field. So I'd go ahead and jump into this play, which is outs. And basically my desire is to once again work this corner over here. And how I layer this up is I'm going to go ahead and set this particular play up where I'm going to go ahead and have a levels concept on the back side with this route. Now once again, I'm going to read this defender to see if he can get out to this particular route, but I'm also going to read this defender quickly just to see. So I'm going to snap the ball right here. You can see this dude shooting out really quick. He's not really hesitating at all. I do have kind of a leverage type position, but I figured, okay, I've got the levels concept that's going to basically go over the top of this guy. I should be able to go ahead and come back around back here. But he's got one defender right here, and he's using Cooper like a beast right over the middle of the field. I drop it down underneath him, right in front of him, and actually hits his other defender in his hands, and I make a bad play. So it's the second time in that levels concept I don't read that correctly in recent gameplay, so I have to get back at it. He ends up scoring on me. and puts me in a situation where I'm down by a touchdown, but I'm getting the ball in the second half, so I can essentially go up a score on him in the second half and be in a driver's seat. So right here, I go and jump into this play. I actually was in a lab recently, and I found out that if you do, it usually it's a little bit better to actually use these little stop post routes. I forgot what it was called exactly, but that's a new route that's in the game that I'm going to start leveraging for this particular play. But what happens is I read this defender right here on this little route. If this guy slides out, I hit the running back. If the guy slides in, I'm going to go ahead and hit this little corner route because he's got over the top, basically over the top leverage, and he's not trying to give up a big play. So you can see right there, DJ Moore is breaking a lot of tackles against his offensive backfield. You give me some shots right here. Now I go ahead and set up my verticals play, deep comeback route, wheel route, and really all I'm doing is reading this defender right here. If this guy carries, I'm going to do the deep comeback route. If he releases and goes to the deep comeback route, I've got basically this route, and then this route. This guy's just clearing out for me. I'm not even looking to that side. Typically never do that with the verticals. And you can see right here, Luther Burden gets a good release, but I actually go up to the top route with Clement, and he actually tries to tackle me, and fortunately for me, I actually go ahead and get the ball out of bounds. I want to make sure I get out of bounds, keep the clock, give myself enough time to get into the field goal range, but also give myself a shot where I can get into the end zone a little bit later on. Once again, I'm going to go ahead and jump into this play, which is the play action post dig. It's not a play I actually use a lot. But it is a really easy concept that we look at. All right, so basically when I set this particular play up, I've got a whip. This is going to beat my beat any kind of man coverage in any floating zone. So this is going to be my 1. This is going to be my 2, and this is going to be my 3. Now most players are going to be worried about this crosser because it gets past coverages and gets underneath the deep coverages because this post will clear out. But I always go ahead and make my progressions 1, 2, and then 3. Right there. So we're going to watch Komet as the ball releases and see what happens with the leverage. You can kind of see he's using Komet away, so he's actually got that responsibility, and he's actually covering it basically white on rice. But I could throw this deep comeback route, but because his user is in this area, I know that this route just gets really crazy leverage, and I can hit this. And because he's over here, I can go over here. So that's why I like this play. I don't use it enough in my playbook, but it's something I actually should use a little bit more often. I did come up a little bit short, but that's all right. I want to go ahead and chew up some clock against this guy. So I know huddle. Clock keeps moving. Right here, going into this particular play, which is basically an RPO. And then take a delay of game right here because I switched into another play. I jumped into RPO. I'm like, I don't really like this. I get out of it and actually take a delay of game, so I lost 5 yards. But not a really huge deal because it does stop the clock to get the penalty. So it's a way to get myself an easy timeout against my opponent. So I don't necessarily dislike getting the 5-yard loss right there with the penalty. So let's see if we jump back into verticals again. Same play as previously. I just love this figure play. It's just a very easy read progression. See how this guy's releasing and he's sliding up. So I've got basically kind of a levels concept. I've got the crossing concept over here, but now he's not actually coming off to the backside. And the running back was open. I just misread it. I was really trying to force this route right here because he's kind of splitting the difference. So he could have got himself in a position to pick the ball off. I think I checked it down. The hard curl flat defender comes down and plays it. And I literally just picked up a handful of yards with that particular route concept. So jumping into a new play right now, looking at the coverages. And I think what I did is I jump into this coverage, this play. Once again, I'm really reading this guy right here, seeing what happens if he slides out. I'm going to hit the running back. If he keeps into the running back, I'm going to go hit this little curl route by Moore because he's not pressing his guys. And we're going to watch the defender, see how he slides out. The guy slides out. He's playing the outside. He's got to be preoccupied by that route by the tight end. I drop it down to the running back and actually go ahead and pick up another first down. And I think this is where I may have I didn't burn time. I actually just went ahead and no huddled against this guy. And right here I just do a simple comeback route. set up verticals like I have been, and watch this defender. I'm watching this defender because he's going to tell me where I want to go. If the defender slides this way, all my reads and progressions are going this way. If the defender follows, I'm just going to go ahead and pop this route because he's going to get isolated with that defensive back on the backside. So right here you can see the defender follows. He goes with man coverage. I already got the ball out. Defenders doesn't do anything right there, and the score is tied with a 2-minute drill drive right there. So I didn't even burn a single timeout in that series. So that's actually a lot of confidence right here. So score is tied 14-14 in the second half. I need to get points on the board. I need to get a possession against this guy so I can keep in the game. Jump an 0-1 trap once again, and the reason I jump an 0-1 trap is there's nobody over the center, and what happens is you're going to get really good blocking for the most part. I think because of the alignment of this defensive tackle, I probably could have flipped the play just to get a better release, but you can see the blocking's right there. I should be running this direction because the blocking's a little bit better, but I think I tried to run it up because I saw this guy coming in even though he was, yards away. Right here I'm able to go ahead and get 5 yards on a run. That's really not that bad. I like to get more like 7 or 8 yards off an 0-1 trap or 10 yards, but 5 yards you can stay in your running game, keep the stick short. Right here I'm actually realizing I don't have my audible set up. I've been noticing when I jump into the game, it doesn't default to my playbooks, and then some of my audibles aren't set up correctly. So I don't know if you guys have noticed that too, but it is kind of an issue with our selections right here. So I go ahead and jump into this. I got outside leverage with this defender. I've got inside. I think this guy's going to have inside leverage, so it's some type of a cover 2 shell or something like that. So I'm not going to use a play. Okay, so it's showing me kind of like a cover 2. Hit it with an inside zone. Pick up a couple more yards right there. Get into third and short. He actually was running like cover 9. And once again, we're going to go into stick. All right, so I've got, basically these defenders are in the box. Got a single high safety. These guys should be rushing. I've got stick. I'm going to steal the yards. You give me a 3rd and 3, I'm going to take those yards with a quick snap stick because he's not going to have a time to make an adjustment because this guy wasn't pressing his defenders. I can throw that ball deliberately and actually pick up some cheap yards. So right there, stealing more yards with stick because he's got off coverage, 3rd down type of situation. So here's a play I got a little bit lucky because this guy's actually got a fairly stable user. What I really do is I like to go ahead and motion this guy out of streak, and really what I'm doing is this guy's clearing, the streak is clearing out. I'm looking to this route first, and I'm coming over to this route second. Now I should put some type of a complement route, maybe a deep post over the middle of the field just to have myself another area to go with. But for the most part, it's really just a 2 progression read, looking one side of the half, and right here. This guy slides out, so he's playing like hard flats. This guy's covered, and here's my read. I think I already got rid of the ball, threw the ball out, and I luckily did not get picked off. This guy had pretty good user, and this is one of the things where I said I didn't feel comfortable with this guy because he knew his assignments and where he needed to go with his defensive assignments, and he played cover 3 hard flats in that defense. So right here, I'm running once again. I go into let's see here. Shock. I'm trying. I don't even know where to go with my plays right now. I'm kind of like rifling through a bunch of different plays. I actually was looking at the clock, and I'm like, okay, I'm just going to run the ball. I go with the read option. What's cool about the read option is that basically it kind of freezes the defender on the edge because they've got a run responsibility with the quarterback. And I actually picked up some pretty good yards off the read option. It's a play that I just don't feel comfortable running, but I should probably use a little bit more because the read option is a good way to go ahead and run against a six defender front with 6 blockers. It just makes a huge difference. So right here going into mesh spot. And here's a situation where this guy pretty much locked this play up just the way he was usering. He actually froze me a little bit with his user. So right here he's just using hard flats, and I was looking towards this guy right here, and he's actually in the passing lane. So then I freeze, and I go ahead and try to do this, but he stops and passes the guy off and actually comes back. So I freeze again. And I was looking for the deep crosser, but this guy's kind of coming back up, and I'm like, oh, God, I got to get out of here. I've got a guy rushing on my edge, and I basically go ahead and throw the ball away. So that was actually a good play. I probably could have ran with my quarterback, which would have been a smart thing to do, but based on what was happening, I just felt like I was going to get sacked behind the line of scrimmage, so I just got rid of the ball. I didn't take a loss of yardage in that type of situation. So back at it again, right here, going with this simple smash concept. And right here, he drops the defender back into the zone. He's got another guy right here. So this guy's making pretty good adjustments. I probably could have ripped this, but once again, he showed me that his user can get a position to take the ball away. And I actually drop it down underneath. And my guy actually pulls out of position, does not catch the ball. So I'm tanking right now. I'm really struggling against this guy's defense. He's making some pretty unique adjustments, and I'm actually showing this guy too much of the same stuff. So right here, I go and jump in a play that I like to use down in the red zone, specifically watching this defender right here to see what happens. If this guy floats up, I'm going to use the stop and release pass I'm going to go after, but I threw this ball a little bit too late. So right here in this type of situation, I probably want to wait for this guy to get in front of this defender and then throw the ball. But I threw the ball early, and it basically got the ball knocked out right there, leaving me an opportunity to get a field goal. Now, we've been trading scores back and forth. We've both had 1 stops defensively. I'm going to go ahead and take the points, take the possession against my opponent to go ahead and try to at least have a score up on this guy. So if he goes up on me by a touchdown, I have an opportunity to go ahead and get the ball in the end zone and basically go up. So he does quickly score against my defense. He gets a couple of big splash plays, and then puts me in a situation where I've got basically 4 minutes and have to turn this into a final drive, leaving him with basically no time, and that was essentially a goal. So once again, this guy's got really good user linebacker ability. He just outran me and played me perfectly. So once again, this guy was a guy that didn't make me comfortable when I was playing defense. He was doing certain things with his user where I felt like I was not doing very well. So right here, I go ahead and jump into this particular play. I was really trying to look for this route right here and then the underneath route over here on this backside. This route is just kind of clearing things out for me. So we're going to watch. He actually kind of falls up right there. I probably could have hit this route right away, but I waited for the crossing route. He actually chases the crossing route. This is wide open, and the ball just gets sprayed. So I positioned. The defender was following, but that was a situation where that play should have been a first down or at least a big chunk of yards. And because of that, I get myself in a bind right there. So now I go back to a play I've been having success with based on the way he's been running his coverages. I go to verticals once again, get into, and I also go ahead and see this deep comeback route just to see if I get isolation on this back side because I haven't really thrown that deep comeback route. 2 guys come out and defend. I don't like that. So basically, I kind of come back to the crossing route over the top, and then I've got this other crossing route over the top. And I think what I did is I checked it down underneath, and right here the defender actually comes down and tackles me short of the first down marker. So I'm at a 4th and 7, and right now my offense is sputtering a little bit. I'm not making correct reads. I'm not making good progressions. And I decided to go and jump into a play that I have not highlighted basically at all. It's this play, sail dig. Very simple play. I have a single high safety right here. Meaning this guy's probably played a deep third. This guy might be playing some match coverage or he's playing outside coverage or whatever. With that said, I'm going to watch this defender, and if this guy matches me, this route will be open all the way there. So basically that's what I'm looking at. Left side of the field, I've got an underneath route with the running back. I got man-on-man coverage right here. This guy actually gets a nice release. Luther Burden catches the ball. I possession catching because I want to make sure I come down with it doesn't get knocked out, and get myself a situation where I get myself a first down, jumping deep into the playbook more than I wanted to. So right here I go into 0-1 trap. Once again, I've got this guy basically playing inside the center and the guard, so that's not necessarily something I want to do. Go ahead and jump into this play right here, flip the ball, and do the 0-1 trap. And I'm able to go ahead and basically bowling ball my way through the line and actually pick up 5 yards, which is not necessarily a bad thing. I want to try to chew this clock down, not leave this guy any kind of time whatsoever, and score a touchdown. Goal is to try to get inside 30 seconds and try to take any timeouts that this guy has, and he'll actually start burning timeouts against him. Now here's a play I don't think I jump into at all in this series is smash. And when I see single high safety, I'm going to jump into smash because it's going to put these two defenders on this side of the field in conflict with a single high safety. So basically, I'm going to go and jump into this particular play. I do a table route over here, so it does give me a progression to hit this guy or hit this guy in case it is a zone coverage. We're going to watch this defender only, and if he presses, I'm popping this. If the guy slides out, I'm going to go ahead and look to this side of the field based on the reads. So we're going to watch that one defender. The guy kind of just presses. He just stays in the box. You can see the ball is already out. I've already got the ball getting released right now, and I'm able to go and pick up an easy first down against this guy with basically that wing set right here. So now I go into just a easy dive. His user actually gets picked up on my guard. I'm able to go ahead and pick up 7 yards on a dive play. And then you can see I've got basically a couple different defenders right here. I got 4 defenders to my 2 to 3 blockers. I'm going to jump out of that wide zone. There's no way I can run that. And then we're going to go ahead and jump into basically, let's see what we jump into. So we go into this inside zone. I'm going to get an extra leverage blocker right here. So I've got a blocker for this guy. I've got a blocker for this guy. I've got a blocker for this guy. And essentially I've got this all blocked up on this side. And right here you can see it gets blocked up, but his user actually comes over. So this guy, once again, his user was making me uncomfortable, and it's, you know, his defense was really good for what he was doing. Go with basically the direct snap. I haven't shown that to him. I think it was the second time I showed it to him, and that time instead of running through the guard and the tackle and the tight end, I ran outside and I was able to go and do this. So here once again. This is why I have this particular play. I'm highlighting this play. It gives me a chance to steal yards because he's got off coverage, and unless this guy actually slides into position or if this guy really bites down, I can actually go ahead and pop that route right there. So once again, we're going to go ahead and jump into that play. I quick snap it. The slant gets underneath it. I'm able to go and pick up 9 yards off that play. So if I'm picking up 9 yards of a quick snap play, I'm going to take it. And that's what, you know, that's how the best quarterbacks in the game. Tom Brady was such a great quarterback, primarily because he just stole yards. The defense would give him something. I'm taking the yards. I'm collecting him. He was collecting tolls every time he was actually at the line of scrimmage and making it difficult for the defense to stop him. So take a look at the clock. I'm almost in the sweet zone. I want to get into about 30 seconds. This guy's already burnt out a couple of his timeouts. I'm in a pretty good situation right now. Decided to go with the direct snap. In this type of situation, I go and do it. He gets himself out of position, and my running back runs in, and I actually get the ball into the end zone, go up by a field goal. Now, fortunately for me, this guy kind of tanked out. He actually started getting really, he started throwing balls and stuff like that, but I'm able to go pick up a victory. So wanted to share this with you guys once again. It shows you kind of like my reads, my progressions, how I make kind of decisions, and also some of the bad decisions I make too, because we all make bad decisions when we're playing a game based on what our opponent does. So thank you for your support, guys. Let me know where you're located at, what you guys do for a living. I'm just curious just to see what the community is like. So thank you for your support. Until next time.